Hi, I'm Conan Jones, and along with Jen Ashworth and Emma Patterson, we judged this year's Royal Society of Literature vs Pritchett Prize. Very grateful for the support of the ALCS with that prize. I'm here with Car. It was quite a batch of stories we had. The long list was amazing, a really cracking shortlist. How did it feel for Doggerland to have landed on that shortlist?
I mean, really spectacular, obviously. I think I feel like every writer, what they really want most urgently is sort of be seen and understood. And I did wonder whether, I think Doggerland is quite an elusive story in places, and as you said, it does demand quite a lot of the reader. But to see it on the shortlist made me think, oh no, this is a pleasure. It is a pleasure to write something that does make demands and does want to have a challenging and elusive relationship with its reader, because I think that can be incredibly enjoyable. So yeah, it was a real, like, just kind of delight, really, a complete joy.
How does it feel to know that Doggerland's the winning story?
What? Is
It's the
it?
winning story. It's the winning story. That elusive win, the elusive story. Yes, it's the winning story.
Oh my God. Um, wow, that's incredible. Uh, I'm sorry about the very loud noise I just made. Like,
The story made a loud noise in an amazing way. It was such a loud, quiet, subtle, blatant piece. There was so many kind of edgy conflicts in the narrative itself and the way that it's written. So really, in what we all felt was in a very strong shortlist. It's the one that came out on top. Um, did it sort of arrive out of the mist as a story, or did you have to go and search for it?
it was a bit of a, so it started off as just a flash fiction exercise, actually. 200 words on a concept that I sort of pulled out, which was the idea of a lighthouse on a heath, and what is it doing there and what is it for. And the more I kind of played with Sharon as she becomes, the more time I wanted to spend with her and what she was doing there and what this lighthouse could be. So I suppose it sort of built from a lighthouse outwards and into the heath and then into the mists.
Amazing. We're not going to hold you too long and make you talk until they're sort of. I know that you want to go and process this. But another thing I'd like to know, or not know necessarily, but just ask is, obviously there's a lot of things that you don't tell us in that story, and you've just spoke beforehand about how that elusiveness and that risk that you take is something that's a real choice. Did you find yourself writing a lot of stuff in that story that then you took back out?
Yes, and a lot of the I suppose the explanatory conversations between the narrator and her apprentice, I started taking out, because I thought this is ultimately a story that's set in a world that we don't know whether it does exist, a land of the dead. And the idea of having very didactic prose around belief and hope and mystery felt, like it didn't quite work. It started setting parameters on the story that I thought was sort of forcing the reader into a reaction that I didn't want to force them into.
And that's it. I think there's so much trust given to the reader in your story. And it feels, I think it's amazing whenever something's been in the text, even if it's taken out, it still inhabits the text and it makes such a rich thing to read. So yeah, we're really delighted to have found it. It was a thrill to read. It really was.
Thank you so much. I'm so really just so slightly overwhelmed. Thank you for reading it.
Yeah. Well, I say congratulations, and it's good to be the person to deliver the news. Thank you.
Even though you got the blast of a very intense noise. Sorry.